What's going on, Taurus? How are you doing? Hope you're doing super well. This is the Autistic Mystic, and this is going to be your reading for the month of October 2024. So in this reading, Taurus, we're going to take a look at your overall general energy for the month. We're going to take a look at some things you do not see coming. We're also going to get some advice from your angels and spirit guides for you and so much more regarding October 2024. So before we begin this reading, as always, I do want to take a moment to let you know that you are very welcome here in this space with me as we go through this reading. And I really do appreciate you, Taurus, in advance for taking the time to check this reading out. So if this reading does resonate with you, definitely smash that like button, subscribe down below if you have not already for future updates. I would also really appreciate that. And if you're interested in booking an astrology natal chart reading with me, all the information can be found in the link below. So let's go ahead and pull the energy and see what's coming your way for October. As always, I would like to thank the angels, the interdimensional beings, and the spirit guides who are overseeing this act of divination for the sign of Taurus. Okay, Taurus, interesting energy here that you got going on for sure. Before we get into the tarot, we're going to start this reading off with some pre-shuffled oracle cards from the universe, and these oracle cards contain the energy that you need less of for October. And the first one you have is conditioning. And you see how this lion is surrounded by sheep, kind of like feeling out of place here. So there's definitely a feeling of you not surrounding yourself with anyone who you feel is not going to appreciate your work or your opinion or your advice or your companionship, honestly, because there's a difficult kind of karmic releasing that I would say is going on in October 2024 for you. It can be really tough to do, but your challenge for October is the Six of Cups in reverse. And that has to do with holding on to the past, even though there's something that should have already been released, or there's something about having to complete a past childhood experience right now. And all of us right now, something that's going on for every sign, but especially Taurus, with Uranus being in your sign right now, bringing a lot of change into your life. We're all being asked to basically dive into those things that we tried to run away from in childhood. And so this month for you is going to be a big test from the universe, Taurus. Are you going to rise above the conditioning that basically made you run away from something that you were naturally drawn to? Okay, a certain path is reopening for you that I feel was, for some of you, you shut it out a long time ago, but for others of you, it's something that you never even gave your chance to really explore because it was so, I don't know if it was, I don't want to say it was taboo. It's almost like you were just like conditioned to not believing something was possible that you wanted to create here. So there's a lot of spiritual changes occurring. That's the advice here. Now, the next energy that you need less of is sorrow. This is the Nine of Swords here. So I think anxiety, overthinking. You have conditioning and sorrow here. So this is a reminder that most people recycle thoughts from the day before, and there's no new energy coming in. So I just get that there's this very stale energy that your day-to-day work routine and certain business contracts and people in your life are going to make it hard for you to exit this cycle, but you better exit the cycle here, okay? Because there's something you don't see coming in October that's going to be a major pivot point where you're going to be left with a choice point here, Taurus. So we're going to get into the specifics of what all this means. The next energy that you need less of actually is completion. Okay, completion. And this is like the World card where it's similar to the the suit of earth, the earth element, where you're actually manifesting something. So this month actually seems like it's going to be a lot of spiritual readjustments as you're working on the mundane day-to-day experience. There's some sort of new path opening up for you that I feel is going to make you happy, but not because you're going to manifest anything from it. Okay, the energy that you need less of is the World card. So right now, there's an energy of enjoying the doing, the process of aligning yourself with a certain desire or goal, or going back into the past, right? Your challenge is the Six of Cups in reverse here. And the energy you need less of is the completion card. So what I get from that, Taurus, is that if you try to basically move forward as if everything is aligned right now, it's a big message from Spirit that there's something that you were, basically, I get that it's a pre-birth intention or something that you were destined to move towards in this life that you're not really close to it yet. So instead of getting all excited about the manifestation of something, this month is all about getting excited about the process of, it's like the quote, the journey and the destination. Like, what's the difference between them? The journey is the gift, not like getting there, climbing the mountain is not, like once you reach the top of the mountain, that's not what you should be obsessed about. You should be obsessed about putting one foot in front of the other to get to the top of the mountain in October 2024. I know that sounds vague, but this is what I get, Taurus. Something is coming back online for you, but there's a lot of, let me just say, there's a lot of BS, okay, conditioning and sorrow. I feel like you could be taking on a lot of people's emotions right now in the collective. There's a lot of suffering going on, but basically this is going to require you to challenge yourself to step out of your own stubbornness, because a lot of you, there is a likelihood of some of you shooting yourself in the foot when it comes to thinking that you've graduated from a certain experience, thinking that you're on a higher level than you actually are. And what this level is that it's some sort of spiritual calling that's going to make you ground yourself and do things in a more joyful, honest way without ego. That's what I feel, because your ego right now, there's something about a negative ego where it's gonna cause you to cling to certain repetitive people, repetitive thought patterns that you're really being called to wipe the slate completely clean. But you're so caught up in your daily routine, or you're so caught up in some sort of monotonous thing that it's going to be tough here, okay? So now let's get into the tarot. Your opportunity is the Seven of Pentacles here. So your opportunity is to actually reap the rewards of seeds that you planted long ago. I feel that many of you have been slowly but surely releasing yourself from this conditioning energy. There's also this energy for some of you here of casting your pearls before people who are not, it's almost like you're trying to present, like, let's just say you wrote a book and it's like you're trying to give this book to like people who aren't interested in the subject. So let's say you're like an astrologer, you just wrote an astrology book, you have all your friends from the past, you have your neighbors, and you're like trying to knock on their door and you're like, hey, read this book, and no one's really into the book. So you might just say, oh, it's not a good book. The truth is it's an excellent book. I just feel like there's something here about adjusting who is your audience, or who are you trying to reach out to in life, because I feel like there's a lot of stale energy that you're like, you may have this like loyalty to sheep, but you're actually becoming a lion, and yeah, that's difficult here. So I also feel like there's key relationships that you're meant to hold on to them, because you're meant to give people motivation for the transformation that you went through. People want to see your journey. So there's something here about you not actually as the energy reads right now, there's something here about you not releasing relationships from the past that are quite toxic. Like, you might feel like you're the lion and these sheep are around you, because there's something about you releasing the sheep as well. Or there's something here about, it's not to have a martyr complex or a savior complex, it's just about people need to witness your transformation in your life. And if you completely cut them off, I feel like you're going to rob both you and them of that experience of seeing you grow. But there's almost this attitude of you're meant to set an example for certain people in your life, but it's going to be very easy for you to just stick to the status quo with what they expect of you or what you expect of yourself. Okay, so let's go to your overall general energy. Like I said, the challenge is the Six of Cups in reverse, and your opportunity is the Seven of Pentacles here. So I feel like there's a lot of people from your past or childhood experiences that potentially will rob you of your fortune that you're meant for in this life. Okay, because I get these seeds are not just from this life. This is from your ancestral bloodline, certain gifts that you wanted to incarnate, to certain family lines to really activate, and also good deeds that you did in a past life. I feel like this is all coming on board for you to take hold of. But if you're lost in a matrix of the past, and you're too oriented towards what these people think of me from the past, right? This conditioning card. And if you take on other people's pain as your own to a certain degree, that's going to really keep you stuck in a karmic cycle. So I get I get that you're not even afraid of taking this next step into your future, but you may be afraid of what people will think of this that you really care about, that you don't want to completely let go of. So there is this loyalty here that I feel like is very honorable, but at the same time, you're going to have to make changes because they need to witness your transformation if you do want to hold on to these relationships, right? So your overall general energy is the Six of Pentacles, the Five of Wands, and also the Page of Pentacles. So there's a lot of mundane, these are all minor arcana cards, and I feel like there's a lot of hard work and really preparing yourself to, like I said, put one foot in front of the other along your journey here. There could be a little bit of a fiery edge that you feel it needs to be balanced out here. Instead of being worried about what people will think about you, I think that there's going to be a psychological switch in this reading, or the advice would be to create a psychological switch where instead of worrying about what they think of you, they're going to start to worry about what you think of them, but you're actually going to maintain the relationship. So this can be family members. This can be, the Six of Cups energy is your challenge. So there's definitely something going on from the past, but yeah, this whole reading is about you actually like inspiring people through your grounded, humble approach, and not trying to celebrate before you actually get to the finish line, and actually celebrating the fact that you get to wake up and you get to put your energy into something that you love despite what people think, because you're definitely putting your energy into something that right now it will make you feel like this. So this is the energy you need less of. Remember that behind the sheep, everyone is a lion. Remember that the celebrities that were shown in the Matrix are so amazing. All of us are celebrities. It's all a Plato's cave of illusion. Who gets propped up? Most of the artists that get propped up and chosen, like the situation with Diddy, is that he was chosen to be like this devil that would basically obtain the riches, but also sell his soul. So what you have to realize is that a lot of the conditioning is fake, and I feel like we're all waking up to that right now, but there's this experience here in your overall general energy of you're just going to be doing your work humbly, but sometimes getting back to the roots, getting back to the foundation, putting in that hard work, not being afraid to like be a beginner, taking the first step here to balance something out in your life. That is actually, you'd be surprised what actually inspires people, right? Do you think that P. Diddy running around in his Rolls Royce is going to inspire people? Maybe it would have, but now we're all waking up to the truth of what this reality really is. So this is the energy that you need less of. You're not at a stage where something is complete yet, and there's something about the joy in just doing what is in front of you in October 2024. Now here's where it gets a little bit deeper and more dangerous, you could say, but also more potentially rewarding. And what you don't see coming, you have the Seven of Swords, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Nine of Cups. I feel there's going to be either a lot of positive or negative synchronicity here in your life, and there's almost two different paths. Now, the Wheel of Fortune is the centerpiece to your reading. This has to do with destiny, fate, good luck, a portal of change coming in for you. And by the end of the month, I see you working something out. The Nine of Cups is here by the end of the month here, Taurus. So I actually feel by the end of the month, you're going to be working hard. You're going to be doing your thing, and you're not going to need anything from anyone. You're going to be reporting to your own self, because you know what, a quote from this reading that I would say to you is that if you don't become your own boss, someone else will. You know, if you're working like a 9 to 5 job full time and you want to do something different, you have to treat whatever you're going to do differently like it's a full-time thing, right? Even if it's just a mentality thing. But what I get from this is that this Seven of Swords right next to the Wheel of Fortune is definitely related to the Six of Cups in reverse in your challenge. I feel that it will be tempting for you to slip into the past, and potentially even a lot of you will have to navigate certain manipulation or lying, scheming, cheating going on from your past. Now, I feel for many of you, since you have the Devil card is what you need less of, this is like a habitual pattern of behavior. This is where some of you are you're gonna be forced to confront the fact that you may be robbing yourself of your own destiny here in an attempt to stubbornly just stick to a routine or how things are and not challenge the status quo. Because a meaning of the Seven of Swords is that this person is stealing the swords from the camp so that they cannot be used against them. So this person is like, I'm going to go into that Wheel of Fortune, I'm going to steal some of these swords so they can't be used against me. So I feel that if you're not careful of being honest, humble, and realizing that you're not as close to this manifestation as you think, like there's a lot of hard work to be done. If you can admit, like if you can take the humble approach and you can be like, you know what, the only person I'm against is myself right now. I have to humbly approach myself. And because if you get caught up in past conditioning and trying to prove people wrong, I feel like there's all these traps that are being laid for you in October 2024, where the only remedy is honest hard work. The only remedy is going against yourself, because this can even be like you're being tricked into competing with people from your past who literally are not even in the same lane as you. So there's something about like stay in your lane, okay, and create new lanes eventually here. But I don't know, Taurus, I'm trying to translate this frequency of the Wheel of Fortune, the Seven of Swords, the Six of Cups in reverse. I feel like there could be people from your past trying to mess with this big opportunity once you declare it. So for a lot of you, there could be a feeling of moving in silence, not declaring your intentions, because there could also be something here in the advice about, or I don't even get it in the advice, but there could be something about throwing people off the scent. Like a lot of people think they know the autistic mystic based on what I put out on social media. They think they know my goals. They think they know what I'm up to. But I never reveal what my true goals are. And that's just, that's a frequency of something that you can kind of take into. Because it's like when you get a new relationship, if you go telling people about it, other energy is going to get involved in it, right? If you get a good manifestation or if you get a new routine going, don't tell anyone, don't brag about it. Because the energy that you need less of is the completion card. And this is about like, I'm P. Diddy in the Rolls Royce, and I have a 9-year-old coming over later, but everyone just sees the Rolls Royce and no one wants to talk about the 9-year-old because, you know, there's going to be some men in black that are going to come to get you. But then, you know, there's all this elite star seeds here now where we're connected to something that will F up whatever was effing up the world. So there's a lot of like, there's these two paths here. I feel like you're going to be pulled into competitive, egoic BS and actually get lost in sorrow, or you can take the humble approach. Now, but it's going to require a spiritual cleansing. In your advice, you have the Six of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Judgment card, right? So I feel like this is about moving on from a situation that may include drama with people from your past, right? The Six of Swords in reverse. I feel like the only thing getting in your way is you. But you get to choose your own frequency. And when you dwell in sorrow and conditioning, and you're really concerned with how people are going to react to this new path, or you're too oversharing, there is something here about don't overshare your new, whatever this thing from the past is that's coming back on board here. Okay, because the only thing that's going to stop you in this reading, I feel, is that there could be a danger of choosing a path in order to escape a certain path. Now, what I mean by that is that when you're going to try to manifest something, Taurus, it's much more powerful if you move towards something that you actually stand for, rather than simply manifesting something to get away from something else. Okay, so for example, let's take like a race car driver who, at the beginning of his career, he wanted to move towards racing cars because that was actually what he was for. I am for racing cars. But now something happens where basically some weird event happens to where now I'm racing cars not because of the joy of racing cars, but because I'm against motorcycle racing. And now the only reason I'm racing cars, the purity of it is out. I'm here racing cars because I think that motorcycle race is BS, and I'm on the true race, right? That whole trying to go down a certain path to get away from something, to be in opposition to something, is what you want to avoid here, because that's what you've been stuck into a certain degree when it comes to past influences in your life. You may have been announcing your dreams. You may have been trying to fight with people from your past. The only person that you need to prove wrong is yourself. And then the outside will transform. So you have the Six of Swords, the Hanged Man, and the Judgment card here in your in your advice. So this is about a complete shift in perspective, and also about the ability to discern well and to judge. And this is about a massive shift in consciousness, but it's also about divine intervention. So the universe is telling you, hey Taurus, you have this month of divine intervention. There's going to be a lot of unpredictable things happening when it comes to your fate, your destiny, a lot of synchronicity, but that synchronicity is up to you whether you can properly manage your own energies and negotiate with yourself, or you're going to be basically pulled into a lower vibration, especially relating to the past. Now, this is important because this Six of Swords in reverse, like I said, the Six of Cups in reverse in your challenge, I feel that it's related to something that you may have wiped out of your consciousness based on conditioning. Okay, so pay close attention to the downloads that you're getting from spirit, because really you might also have to completely go humble yourself, put yourself in a position where it's just you on the water, maybe go out on your boat and just listen to what spirit is telling you. But you have to be free of the influence of conditioning, which right now, if I'm being honest with you, you may think that you are, but you need to be more than you currently are. You don't need to be, but that's the advice. Let's go ahead and get some clarifications to this reading. Let's just do that Six of Cups in reverse, the first card I want to do. Why is the Six of Cups in reverse here is your challenge for October? The Five of Pentacles. Yeah, it's like the Fool and the Chariot. Yeah, you are taking a ride out of the Matrix here. The Chariot is all about, you see the person, there's a city behind them and they're in this chariot. It's all about escape. I'm getting it as an escape vehicle from the Matrix. The Fool is also a card of new beginnings and being open, but it's also coming through as a card of foolishness. And you also have the Five of Pentacles here in your challenge. Now remember, this is all clarifying the Six of Cups in reverse, which has to do with the past, your childhood memories, your mind and your emotions running on autopilot. So I think that there's a lot of actually foolish habits or people or conditioning from your past that you are divinely protected to either let go of or continue. And that's actually the difficult thing about this reading, is that it's really bringing in the element of your free will. That's why, Taurus, in what you don't see coming, you see kind of the Wheel of Fortune in the middle of the Nine of Cups and the Seven of Swords. You get to decide where you place your energy, where you place your focus, where you place what you're doing. And right now with your challenge is that there's a big challenge to rise above foolish lack mentality, foolish competitiveness, right? The number 5 here is similar to like the Five of Wands here. It's a very human energy. This is about human lack. And so you're really being called to rise above certain patterns and know that you're divinely protected to either do that or to stay where you are. There's really this element of free will and choice being brought into this reading. I want to clarify the Wheel of Fortune in your what you don't see coming. The Wheel of Fortune is clarified by the Moon, the Hanged Man, and also the Six of Wands here in what you don't see coming. So I feel that there is some sort of unknown victory on its way to you if you can take the grounded, humble approach and really readjust yourself. I feel like there's a lot of victory here that may be currently cloaked from you, or there could be a lot of delusions that you're letting go of. You know, You know what I feel this is, Taurus, as well, is that you are only as happy as your mind makes it out to be. And no one gets to define what victory and success looks like for you. If living out in nature and not having a lot of bills to pay is victory for you, then you have to define it as that, and you need to rewire your mind and really let this sink in. And you need to navigate the unknown of what, I feel like there's an energy here of right now, it's about enjoying the process of where you are, but it's also about redefining that victory can happen every single day. The battle is won long before it actually goes down. And right now there's a readjustment to your approach, and there's a readjustment to what you even define victory as. Because like I said, the energy that you need less of is the World's card. Right now, delusions of victory and what that looks like is permeating your consciousness. There's people around you who will view you as a failure for going down your true path. And that illusion is being dissolved, and you're saying, wait a minute, that's a failure to you, that's a victory to me. So clear the cobwebs and listen to spirit. That is the true path, not what your mind and your conditioning and people are telling you. So with that being said, talk to you next time.